Tyson Barrie is a name to keep an eye on throughout this training camp as he is vying for an NHL contract. Word around town is that he will get that contract. So what does that mean for some of the younger defensemen in the system who are vying for an NHL spot as well, like Hunter Bruzstewicz? Plus, the Flames made some cuts before tonight's game against Vancouver, and we're going to get into all of that. But first, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here, you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And let's get into this impossible decision that the Flames have to make. Do you go ahead and you take on Barrie and kind of, maybe compete a little bit more this year? Or do you really buy into some of the young guys and let them develop earlier than expected? It's a very, very hard decision to make, but this will make the decision, I guess, a little bit easier in saying that Barrie is likely to sign. So Tyson Barrie, obviously he's around training camp. He's on a PTO. He's been playing in the preseason and hasn't looked too bad. He's done kind of exactly what we thought he would so far. He hasn't looked bad. He hasn't, totally wowed anyone, but the Flames are playing well. And is he the cause of that? No, of course not. But we do have, I don't know why the Matthew Nyes thing popped up again, but either way, we do have this here. So a tweet from Yegor Sharangovich replaced Breadman. It used to be the old Breadman account, but it's at Fiery Sharky, not Fiery Breadman anymore. But they said Frank Saravalli on Flames Talk today said he believes that Calgary will be signing Tyson Barrie to a contract. So boom, there you go. It's from Saravalli himself saying that it pretty much is going to be a fact that Barrie will get that contract with the Flames and will be on the Flames this season. I would be shocked if he doesn't get the contract. I would have been shocked if he hadn't, as soon as the PTO was officially announced. But either way, to take it a step further, I like what good old Ryan Pike said here. And he said, during a portion of their chat where Hunter Bruzstewicz was praised, Frank noted, I think they're signing Tyson Barrie either way. So whether Bruzstewicz is pushing for an NHL gig or not, it's interesting that, the reason why Barrie came up in conversation was because they were talking about how good Bruzstewicz is. So Bruzstewicz, I think in an ideal word for him, he would love to play for the Flames this season. Is that going to be the case? I don't think so, at least not to start out for the season. I personally really hope he gets a chance to play some NHL minutes at some point this season, but I don't think he's going to crack the squad for game 1 of 82. Bruzstewicz is really good. In the long run, of course, is better than Barrie, but interesting. You talk about how good Barrie is, but then you bring up, well, it doesn't even matter how good he is, because it doesn't matter how good Hunter Bruzstewicz is, because Barrie's going to get that contract anyway, essentially is what is being said here. So the place where the impossible decision comes in is, what do you do? Honestly, the Flames are in such a strange spot of, look, we can play some veterans or we can give it to the young guys because we have so much of both, especially when it comes to defense. So if we take a look at the depth chart for the Flames right now defensively, this is the first bit of them, and you'll notice that neither of the people I just named are even in this part yet, but we've got Tenorti, Andersson, Weegar, Bean, Ball, Miramanov, Hanley, Pahal, Poirier, Solovyov, and Yan Kuznetsov. No mention of Barrie, technically because he doesn't have that contract, but no mention of Bruzstewicz, who does. So very interesting here that already, how many people is that? About 10 D-men? It could be even 11. Let me do a quick scan. It looks like 11, and already those guys aren't there. Now, is this in ranking of, how likely they are to be in the NHL? No, I mean, it kind of is, unless, I don't know why Tenorti would be at the top of that, but the rest of it is kind of like that in a way. But if we get into the rest of the guys, here we go. So we've got Asparat, Grushnikov. There's Bruzstewicz finally. We got Yoni, Yermo, Zane Perek, Etienne Morin. And then you got all the guys who were either cut or not really part of, training camp in the system right now. Feel free to take a look at them. I know a few of them were just drafted. But either way, interesting that Bruzstewicz is that far down on the depth chart. This depth chart comes from the Daily Faceoff. So really just pumping, Saravalli and his brand right now. But either way, interesting stuff here. What do you do? Let me know down in the comments what you would do. Would you rather see Barrie play out this season, or would you rather see Bruzstewicz and maybe some of the other younger guys? We've seen how good Grushnikov has been. Zane Perek, of course, we know how good he is, but don't really expect him to get too many NHL minutes this year. But either way, what do you think? If you were, the general management and especially the coaching staff having to make this impossible decision, what do? Do you lean towards the vets for this season and then go with the young guys later? Do you lean on the vets no matter what? Do you lean on the young guys because it's more exciting and they could develop and get more experience quicker? I don't know. It's a very hard decision. Let me know down below in the comments what you would do. But like I mentioned in the intro of this video, there was a bit of a roster trim as well last night, and it was not an expected one. No one got cut that you would expect to totally make the team, and it's not even real cuts because they're still members of the organization. But here you go. Flames trim training camp roster. They now have 6 goalies, 17 defensemen, and 33 forwards remain at camp. This one comes straight up from the Calgary Flames and their staff. So the Flames announced today that they assigned the following players to their respective junior clubs. And there's the key word. It's a bunch of guys going back to juniors. Again, it's no vets got completely cut and won't be with the organization anymore and have to try and find a contract elsewhere. No, these guys are all still property of the Calgary Flames, and a lot of them are recent draft picks as well. But Jacob Battaglia will be going to the Kingston Frontenac of the OHL. Alex Hurtig will be going to the Hitmen. Eric Jameson back to the Everett Silvertips. Hunter Lang going out to Prince George. Hank Muse, he played pretty well. He's going back to the 67s. And Luke Misa, who also was great, in the Young Stars Classic, was pretty good in his preseason game as well. He's going back to Brampton. And then Etienne Morin will be going to Moncton in the queue. The Flames have also released, so there's one, Luke McNamara from his amateur tryout agreement. So there's the one, I guess, cut you can call it. But is it a shock? No. Is that a name most people even know? No, it's not. So no surprise there. And we do obviously wish Luke the best wherever he does end up going in his professional hockey career. But either way, no surprise there. And what does it leave us with? Well, the Flames now have 6 goalies, 17 D-men, and 33 forwards for a total of 56 skaters at camp, which is still a lot. You have to make those final cuts, I suppose you can call them, by, I believe it's October 7th is the deadline. So either way, it's coming up, it's under a couple weeks now. So very interesting to see who will crack the lineup. And obviously we hope all of these juniors do develop very well with their respective teams. Some of them could very well see NHL minutes within the next couple seasons here. So very, very exciting. And hopefully they do well. And of course, the last thing is tonight's game. It is just a preseason game, but I've kind of missed, showing when we do have a game at night. So the Flames are playing against the Canucks out in BC. I think the game actually might be playing in Abbotsford and not in Vancouver itself. But either way, very interesting to note here that Dustin Wolf once again gets the start on the road here. And the Flames, we know they're guaranteed to score 6 goals. So what are your scoring predictions? Who's going to score first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and 6th? I'm going to say all 6 will be Wolf himself saucing those pucks all the way down the ice. Either way, should be very exciting. And, maybe they'll start to do some real line combos now. I know they have been testing some stuff out. Maybe they'll test other stuff out, but maybe they'll go with what has worked, and we'll just have to wait and see. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do at the end of these vids. And this was a good one here from 3 people I decided to take because they all kind of had their own little spice to them, but it comes from the most recent video of "This is unbelievable for the Calgary Flames," because it truly is unbelievable that the Flames have done this well in the preseason. A lot of people are saying, well, this isn't that great. It's more unbelievable just in the way that it's hard to believe. But either way, first of all, we had Jake, and Jake says, cautiously optimistic. Of course, we as Flames fans are pretty much born, bred, raised, and die in the cautiously optimistic phase, and that's exactly how we will remain so far. We also had Blaine say, you can't argue with success. Boy, have the Flames been successful. You can't argue that. And then the final one there was from Jason. He said, take the good news while you can. Yes, we will soak in the wins while we can. I know the past couple videos have both had titles that are like, oh, this is so amazing. Well, guess what? We are going to take those wins when we can. As Flames fans, as the Flames Digest family, we will soak those up as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe, like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.